The man sitting in the last row at my college graduation wasn't supposed to be there. He wasn't on the guest list. He didn't clap when my name was called. And when I finally realised who he was, my entire life rearranged itself in a single moment. Let me explain. I grew up in Columbus, Ohio, in a small two-bedroom apartment above a laundromat that smelled permanently of detergent and hot metal. My mum worked double shifts at a nursing home. My father, as far as I knew, left when I was 6. That's the version I was told. He wasn't ready to be a dad, Mum would say whenever I asked. She never spoke badly about him. That almost hurt more. There were no photos of him in the house, no angry stories, no dramatic details, just absence. When I was 8, I stopped asking. By high school, I told people he'd passed away. It was easier than explaining something I didn't understand. But there was one strange thing about my childhood. Every year, on my birthday, an envelope would arrive. No return address. Inside was a handwritten note that said, "I'm proud of you. Keep going." And a cashier's cheque. Sometimes $200, sometimes $500. One year, it was $1,000. Mum would always pretend not to notice, but I noticed. I asked her once when I was 13. She just said, "Some people care from a distance." That answer stayed with me. I worked hard in school, not because I was a genius, I wasn't, but because I hated the idea of being stuck. I watched my mum's back curve from long shifts. I saw the way she rubbed her wrists at night. I promised myself I would get us out. Senior year, I got accepted into Ohio State. We couldn't afford it, but between scholarships, part-time work, and those mysterious birthday envelopes, I made it happen. Every semester, right before tuition deadlines, another envelope would appear. No name, same handwriting. Keep going. I should have been angry, but I wasn't. I was curious. College was brutal. I worked mornings at a coffee shop and nights in the campus library. I studied business administration because I thought it was practical, safe. During my junior year, I started interning at a mid-sized logistics company downtown. The CEO was known for being strict, distant, brilliant. I never saw him in person, just his name on company emails. David Whitmore. Graduation day came faster than I expected. The stadium was packed. Families waving banners, balloons floating, mums crying, dads recording everything on phones held too high. Mum sat front row, wearing a simple blue dress she bought on clearance. I scanned the crowd absent-mindedly while waiting for my name to be called. That's when I saw him. Back row, alone. Grey suit, no graduation programme in his hands, just watching. There was something familiar about him, not in a "I know you" way, more like a reflection. Same jawline, same eyes. He didn't smile, he didn't wave, he just watched. When my name echoed across the stadium speakers, the crowd erupted. Mum stood up, cheering louder than anyone. But I found myself looking at the back row again. He was clapping now, slowly, deliberately, and for some reason, my chest tightened. After the ceremony, chaos filled the field. Families hugging, photos being taken, laughter everywhere. I lost sight of him. Part of me thought I imagined it, until I turned around. He was standing 10 feet away. Up close, it was undeniable. I was looking at an older version of myself. He spoke first. "Congratulations, son." My world went silent. Not dramatic, not explosive, just silent. My mouth moved before my brain caught up. "You're not on the guest list." He almost smiled. "I know." Mum saw him next, the colour drained from her face. She walked toward us slowly. Not angry, not surprised, just tired. "You said you wouldn't come," she said quietly. "I said I wouldn't interfere," he replied. That's when the pieces started falling into place. The envelopes, the handwriting, the tuition checks. "You've been sending the money," I said. He nodded. "I didn't want credit. I just wanted you to have options." I should have been furious. I should have demanded explanations. Instead, I asked the one question that had lived inside me for 20 years. "Why did you leave?" He looked at Mum, then at me. "I didn't leave because I didn't love you," he said. "I left because I was drowning." He explained everything in simple, painful honesty. He had started a business when I was young. It failed catastrophically. Lawsuits, debt, investors threatening legal action. He was embarrassed, ashamed. He thought staying would drag us into bankruptcy. So he signed everything over, walked away from ownership, and disappeared from our daily lives to settle the financial damage alone. Mum didn't argue. "He thought he was protecting us," she said. "And you agreed?" I asked her. She nodded. "I'd rather raise you alone than have you grow up watching your father collapse under pressure." The anger inside me softened into something more complicated. "Why not tell me?" I whispered. "Because children don't need adult burdens," Mum said. He reached into his jacket pocket and handed me something. An old photo. It was him holding me as a baby. "I was at every soccer game," he said quietly. "Just not close enough for you to see." My stomach flipped. "You were there?" He nodded. "Back fence. Every time." I remembered vague moments. A man standing near the parking lot. I never paid attention. "You weren't ready to be a dad," I said bitterly. He shook his head. "I wasn't ready to fail in front of you." The silence that followed wasn't empty. It was heavy with years. Years of pride. Years of distance. Years of protection disguised as absence. Mum stepped closer. "He rebuilt the business," she said softly, "under a different name. Slowly. Quietly. Whitmore Logistics, the company I interned for, the CEO I never met." My throat went dry. "You're David Whitmore," I said. He nodded once. "I didn't want you getting special treatment." "You hired me," I said. "You earned it." I thought about every late night at the office, every evaluation, every promotion recommendation. None of it had felt easy. None of it had felt handed to me. That realization hit deeper than any dramatic reunion could. "You were watching the whole time," I said. "Yes." "Why come today?" He looked at the stage. "Because today, you don't need protection. You're stronger than I ever was." Mum exhaled slowly, like she'd been holding that breath for 20 years. We didn't hug immediately. This wasn't a movie. Trust doesn't rebuild in one afternoon. But something shifted. Something opened. That night, we had dinner together for the first time in my adult life. It was awkward. It was emotional. It was real. He didn't ask for forgiveness. He didn't demand to be called Dad. He just showed up. And sometimes that's the hardest part. 6 months later, I was promoted at Whitmore Logistics. Not because I was his son, because I worked like the kid who grew up above a laundromat. We still meet once a week. Sometimes we talk business. Sometimes we talk about nothing. But every year, on my birthday, I still get an envelope. This time, it's handed to me in person, and it still says the same thing. I'm proud of you. Keep going. The man at my graduation wasn't on the guest list, but he never stopped being part of the story. Sometimes love doesn't look like presents. Sometimes it looks like distance. Sometimes it looks like sacrifice that no one applauds. But when the moment matters most, it shows up. And that changes everything.